Uh, Hi, I'm Andrew,
Hey, I'm Colin.
and this is our college football podcast.
Alrighty, so that was a crazy week.
I know y'all missed us judging by the 2 dislikes that we got on our last video, which is a new record.
Alright, so let's go to one of the first games I want to talk about. Let's talk about one of the most surprising games of the week, Alabama-Vanderbilt. We're going straight into it. So, Andrew, what was your thoughts about that game?
I'd like to take the time to mention last week I said that this game was going to be a very interesting game. Y'all can we can play like the footage. We won't because we don't feel like editing it. But like if you go back, just know I like sort of predicted this. Great effort from Vandy. You know, like in the Saban era, like this was like an easy win. I think they scored like 14 points or something like against like Bama, like total like while Nick Saban was the coach. So. I know DeBoer's probably like not like too like thrilled with this loss, but Bama drops to number 7 in the AP poll, so not like season ending or anything, but not great either.
Yeah, so let's talk about another SEC team getting beat, Tennessee, Arkansas. So this game was pretty crazy. I mean, it was low scoring. Arkansas looked like they had it, they had a lead in the halftime. Tennessee looked like they almost got it back. And then Arkansas just had a great fourth quarter. With the defense looked really strong. I always thought Tennessee was a little bit overrated. They barely beat a weak Oklahoma team. And yeah, good for Arkansas. I like to see these upsets.
For sure. I want to talk about Miami Cal. I know Miami came out with like the win, but Miami's I think they're ranked like 6 right now. That will not stay like by the end of the season. I mean, they were down by over 20 at the half, and they came back and there was a questionable targeting call that like really helped them. And this is against like a 3-2 Cal team, so not an impressive win. Very like sketchy. Cam Ward, very strong player. We'll get into Heisman candidates later. He could be one, but definitely worrying for Miami.
Alrighty, so with Missouri, Texas A&M, this was one of the only 2 ranked team matchups. I said earlier last week, Missouri's the most overrated team in college football. They lost by 31. I mean, just say that there. Luther Burden, overrated. I think he had so much hype coming this season. He's not that great of a player. Texas A&M just rolled Missouri.
Yeah. Before we get to SC Minnesota, which Colin will take because I had homecoming and I missed most of the game. I'm not too bummed that I missed it, but I just want to talk about Michigan Washington for a sec. This won't look great for SC because Michigan lost to Washington. Washington, lost like DeBoer and a bunch of players, Penix, among others from last year. They're definitely a shell of their former self. And they're 4-2, but it was a huge win against Michigan. I think they stormed the field and everything, got super excited. Big Ten's tough conference. It was a road game for Michigan, and now they've dropped to 24 because this is unacceptable loss for them.
Yeah, USC did not look good. I mean, when they need it the most, they just can't come up with plays. I mean, we saw it against Michigan. They looked great the whole entire second half on defense. Right when they needed it, they just choked. Losing Gentry, huge loss. I feel like him, and then the loss of Bear Alexander, which I'm really disappointed about. Him redshirting. It's pretty ridiculous. He's not injured. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know why he did that. But that really sets us back. And I feel like this is a really tough loss for the Trojans.
For sure. All right, do you want to move on to Heisman? I touched on it a tiny bit earlier.
All right, let's go to Heisman. So, for me, I feel like if a quarterback wins Heisman, something's gone wrong. I feel like the 2 options right now are Ashton Jeanty and Travis Hunter. I mean, both of them, 20 years ago, would have been the greatest college football players of all time. I mean, Jeanty, almost 11 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. I mean, ridiculous. Travis Hunter, top 5 receiver, top 5 corner. He's basically 2 players in one. I mean, how are you going to pick anyone besides those 2?
Right. I agree with Colin here, but I just think for the sake of like the top four candidates, like at least one quarterback will like make it in because that's how the Heisman is. So I think two candidates who can make it into the top four. I think Cam Ward, especially if like Miami kind of like turns things around and like gets good, then and they like lose one or two games. I think Cam Ward will be instrumental in that, first of all, and second of all, I think that'll like make his prospects for Heisman really good. And yeah, I really, that's like all I have. I mean, Jackson Dart, like another option if they didn't lose to Kentucky, then he would be, they just beat South Carolina by like a lot, so it was a good win for them. But yeah, I'd say like it could be between those two. I mean, there are other options too, but the quarterback class this year is not nearly as strong as it was last year, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So now we go to the Heisman. Let's talk about what's happening next week. So next week was supposed to be the biggest week of college football. It's big, but after some of the games that how they turned out, I don't think it's gonna be the biggest week of the year right now. So let's start talking about it. On Friday, we got two games, but the big one would be Utah-Arizona State, a Big 12 matchup, an old Pac-12 matchup. What do you have happening here?
Utah-Arizona State. Utah, a lot of fluctuation in the rankings lately. I have like Utah winning this game, but I think it'll be pretty close. Arizona State 4-1, dramatic improvement from last year. Scadaba still been very strong for them. So I think this will be like a fun kind of rivalry, kind of Pac-12 esque game. I think it'll be super fun to watch, especially for Friday.
Yeah, with that game, I really like how Scadaba plays. He's scrappy, kind of aggressive. I think he's gonna be a difference maker in the game. All right, so we'll skip USC Penn State and we're gonna go to Texas Oklahoma Red River rivalry. What do you think about that?
Texas is gonna destroy like Oklahoma by like at least like 3 scores. I know it's technically it's like I think like at like Oklahoma, but it's at the like state fair and it'll be about 50-50, so there's not really a home field advantage. Texas is gonna like just like mop like Oklahoma, and Oklahoma will be unranked after this game.
Yeah. Do you think so? Quinn Ewers coming back. How do you think that's gonna affect it?
Yeah, Arch Manning's like looked really strong, but he hasn't been tested against like any real opponents. So I think both are strong options, and Texas isn't like much worse whether you go with like Manning or Ewers. But I you can't go wrong with Ewers. He's tried and true, veteran leadership. I think like Oklahoma like doesn't stand a chance here.
Here's one game. I think this might be the matchup of the year. Number 2 Ohio State versus number 3 Oregon. This is gonna be a big one. It's at Autzen Stadium. I feel like if it was the big, not the horseshoe, that's what Ohio State's called, I think. That would be one thing, but because it's at Oregon, I feel like it's gonna be a close game. I know Ohio State is. They're very good, strong team, but they haven't looked dominant this year. Very weak schedule so far. Great. You beat Akron and Western Michigan. Congratulations. So, this is gonna be both teams' first like big test of the season. So I'm really excited to watch that one.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams very untested, especially Ohio State. And I think moving on to Ole Miss LSU, fun SEC rivalry here. Very evenly matched teams, both like one loss to I guess now unranked, unfortunately, like opponents. So we'll see how it goes. Jackson Dart probably the best like player in this game. I'm thinking Ole Miss like will come out with like a win by like 3 or under. I don't know what the spread is, but it can't be like that big. Should be super fun. Would watch, but Ohio State Oregon's gonna be on, so
yeah,
I'm gonna have to flip back and forth.
Yeah. So last game we're gonna talk about before USC is Kansas State Colorado. Now, Colorado is 4-1. Some people think they should be ranked. This is gonna be one of their big games. This is gonna be like a prove-it game almost. I think Colorado's been overrated, but right now I think they're underrated. I think at 4-1, they've beat some okay teams. They've obviously they did get ruled by Nebraska, but I think Colorado's a little bit underrated right now. So we'll see how they play.
Yeah, no, for sure. With a win against Nebraska, they'd definitely be ranked. I guess we can both kind of talk about SC Penn State. It's at home, so we don't have to deal with like whiteout, which is pretty huge. But especially like in Penn State, like Allard not amazing, but their defense, especially offensive and defensive lines, are very strong, and we know how well SC fares against teams with really good defenses. So I think in our schedule predictions, I think I had SC winning this game. I don't retain that same confidence anymore. Like I think Penn State's gonna come out with like a win, but I think it'll be low scoring. I think it'll be very close. I think it'll be fun to watch unless SC gets destroyed.
I actually disagree. I think SC's gonna come out fired up. I feel like a lot of teams, either when they just had a big win, they do worse, and when they just had a big loss, they do better. I think they're gonna come out fired up. I think it's gonna be scrappy. I think they might pull it out though. I really do believe in USC. Got it.
I want to, but I think that there's definitely, I think you're making a very valid argument. Like SC's definitely going to be hungry for a win, especially since it's like absolutely. I mean, we probably won't get into the playoff, but we need it.
This is make or break. If we lose, I think we're out of the playoffs.
100%.
We have to run the table. I mean, we saw it in 2017, the Sam Darnold year, when he did lead us against Penn State. I think it's the last time we've played.
Right.
We're gonna need another miracle game like that.
For sure.
We're gonna need almost a miracle, but I think we can get one. I think this USC team's gonna be fired up. I think they're gonna pull one off.
Got it. All right. Want to move on to the final? Is that it, or are we done?
I think we're done.
Oh, we're done. Oh, okay. All right. Thanks. Sorry, I was really tired because I was up till like 2 a.m. for homecoming.
Well, I want to say like and subscribe.
Yeah. We didn't say that early enough. Don't dislike. I don't know who's disliking our content. It's looking kind of annoying.
Yeah, don't dislike. That's
it's bad for the algorithm.
Really nice.
No.
It's actually good for the algorithm.
Oh, wait, why is it good for the algorithm? Does it prove that like real people are watching or something?
They just count it as what do you call it?
Engagement.
It's an engagement.
Oh, okay.
It's like equal to a dislike. I mean, a like.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, so it's not even
all
bad.
Right,
I mean,
press all the buttons.
Press all the buttons.
Pretend you're like a 5-year-old, just like press all the
subscribe,
buttons.
turn the notifications
share, copy link,
comment,
share it with your like grandma,
share with everyone you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching.
I need to get into college. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time.